Hey guys, today we're going to do this beautiful bowl cover. Isn't it so cute? And it's really easy. And it's reversible. So let me tell you what we need. So I used 2 fat quarters and I laid them down wrong sides together. And I took my bowl. This is a 10.5-inch bowl, but you could use any bowl. And I centered it and I cut 1.5 inches around on the outside of my bowl. Okay. And I have them wrong sides together. You're going to need a piece of elastic to go around your bowl. And you're going to need some bias tape. And a small safety pin. Alright, let's get started. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to baste these layers together, just so I don't have to worry about catching all the layers. So I'm just going to go around here, 1/8 of an inch. I think my tension's a little tight. I just wanting to pucker something. I hit it with my arm a while ago, so. Alright. So there's that. So basically this is one piece now. Okay. Got Jack on one side and Sally on the other. So now we're going to take our bias tape. These are so easy, guys, so quick. We're going to take our bias tape and we're going to open it up all the way. We're going to lay it on the raw edge and I'm going to sew 1/4 of an inch, which is basically inside that first groove. I'm going to 2.5 stitch length and I'm going to sew inside that first fold, that first groove. I'm going to do that all the way around. I am. You don't have to whisper. Let me think. I think it's above the stove. Hey, if it's not beside this, hey, if it's not above the stove, it's on that little pull-out thing beside the stove. Okay. So what I did was sewed all the way around there and I overlapped it about 1 inch. And I'm going to cut it off. So now we got it all the way around there. I overlapped it about 1 inch. So now we're going to flip it over to the other side, and we're going to put it all in this bias tape. So is everything, when you turn loose of this bias tape, it pretty much folds itself back because they steam it so hard. So I'm just running my hand around there and tucking everything in. So it's like that. So where our join is, oh, I thought it was a thread, but it's a loose one. I'm going to start there just so that I know where I leave my hole, because it's kind of hard to find your hole when you have elastic in it. So I put 2 clips there, and I'm just going to kind of clip it a little bit around just to hold it in place. And you see how it's already like bowling a little bit, and that's a word, just so you know. Just gonna clip around. Okay, so that's what I got. Easy peasy so far, right? Now I'm gonna go to where my opening is, and I'm gonna start there, and I'm gonna go to a 4 stitch length and make sure everything's pretty and lined up, and I'm gonna stitch 1/8 of an inch from this inside fold, the inside piece here, fold 1/8 of an inch all the way around, leaving the tiniest little hole, just a hole big enough that your safety pin can go in. And that's all you need. Okay, all the way around, and I'm on a 4 stitch length. Okay, so I'm coming back up on my beginning. I'm going to leave the tiniest of little holes. Uh-oh. There we go. Just big enough for the safety pin to go through. I'm going to visually look and make sure I caught it all the way around. I did. Check and make sure my safety pin goes through. My little 2 stitches, and it does. So then take your safety pin it onto your elastic and feed it through and all the way up and around. Yes, your hands are going to cramp when you get about halfway through. Just keep going, you got it. I'm going to put a clip on the end just so I don't pull it all the way through. If you've lost your Sojo and you need something quick and simple with some instant gratification, this is a great project to do because it's so quick. They're really cute. They work great. So if you're at a barbecue outside and you want to keep flies out of your food, these work great. I have them in all different shapes and sizes. If you have a square like a 9x13, if you'll do the same thing but with a rectangle shape piece, now you kind of got to keep it lined up with the shape of the casserole dish, but it'll work just the same. You can do it small for the little bowls, or not little, just smaller. Nothing at a barbecue small. But I use this size bowl mostly. And from here to here, that's 10.5 inches. That's a good potato salad bowl. A good, I don't know, I do corn in that bowl, the fire roasted corn, all that I do. A lot of stuff in it. Just keep going. I do think I cut my little piece of elastic too long. But what I did was I just put it around here and cut my elastic. It'll be different for all different size bowls, or I would tell you how long I cut it, but won't do you no good if your bowl's not 10.5 inches. I'm almost there. Oh, crap. I just got 2 or 3 more inches. See, I just bumped it again. I have 2 or 3 more inches, 4 or 5 more inches, whatever you want to look at that. However, just a little bit more. I do think I cut my piece of elastic way too long though. But that's easy to adjust if you get it on the bowl and you realize that that it's too big. You can just open that little hole back up and cut it off, re-sew your elastic together and close your hole. I do think I'm just going to pin these together real quick and see if it fits around my bowl. Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to cut my elastic off there. So I got a good 10-12 inches off of my elastic. Okay, so let's pull these back out. So how I do mine, so that it still stretches and we don't pop any threads, is I overlap mine like this, about 1 inch. Okay, so it's overlapped about 1 inch here, and I'm going to sew here and here, the beginning and the end of the overlaps, and I'm going to go back and forth probably 4 or 5 times. Put my stitch length back on 2, the smallest it can get. And then just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then pick your needle up and go to the other end. And do the same thing. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I'm not sewing down the length of my elastic because I still want it to be able to stretch there. If you sew that and it doesn't stretch, your thread will pop. Okay, so just make sure everything's untwisted, stick it through the hole. Best way to stretch it back out is to put it on the bowl. Oh. That'll stretch it back out. You can go a little further down if you want to, but this bowl has a little lip here, like it, I don't know if you can see that, it has a little where it goes in at, so it just catches right up under there and holds it. Ow! I bonked my head. Alright, so now we got to find our hole again, and because we did it right before the join, we can find the hole. So we're just gonna pull everything tight, put our needle down. Remember, with this we're going to do 1/8 of an inch. Try not to hit your elastic at all. So see, I just took my fingernail and kind of pushed the elastic up to the top and close the hole. And you're done. That's it. That's so quick and easy and simple. The part that takes the longest is measuring out your 1/2 of an inch all the way around. But it's reversible, so if you want Sally on this side, which I think is super cute, you can just put Sally on that side. How cute. Hope you enjoyed. Love you, bye.